Based in Fremont, California, Anu is a Supreme Court attorney from India. Her savvy investments in Silicon Valley's high-tech companies, as well as international business and immigration firm she launched in the US, all of which provided her with enough of a nest egg to start Seva in January 2001. Seva in the US is devoted to the advocacy and protection of legal rights on the global scale. Anu Peshabe.
The main reason I wanted to do this seminar, which is a day long, going on till the afternoon, is to arise the sentiment of people what is happening to our more than 11 million population, which is overseas. About 30 million people have gone abroad and have settled down in various parts of the world. When I started my career as a lawyer here, I had noticed a lot of problems. Always I saw that the system in some way always prevailed. How much ever you make an effort to bring about a change. Like we used to fight these cases, we used to go to the court, we used to mobilize people. I saw my sister doing the same thing in her life, in her profession. We try and bring so much change, yet there are some inherent defects in our system which just devolve everything. I have seen an extraordinary law in America which is called the community property law. It gives the woman the right from very beginning to own half of the property which the man owns. So whenever, if they do not get along or they have children and the woman has to separate, she doesn't start from ground zero. The man starts from here because India is a self-acquired property. Whatever is in whoever's name is the person who gets it. Then woman has to beg the courts to get justice. Then she has to beg them for maintenance. Why should she ask for maintenance? It's not a man's requirement to maintain a woman. She should, as a matter of right, get the right to the property. She stays at home, she bears the children, she looks after the home. That is why the man is allowed to go outside and work. It is two of them who make that income, not one. It does not mean that she is bearing the children and she is staying at home means she is not earning. In America, straight, whatever the man earns during the marriage is the joint property of both. This is where our infrastructure needs a change. Our laws need to be enacted because it is community property that can make a huge change. We talk all day long of dowry cases, of 498A. Why do we talk of dowry? Dowry started to be given because women did not have a property right. First and foremost, if they have a right, they will not need a dowry. So the women will be economically rich, will have the resources. In our country, women have to beg for resources. There is tremendous gender discrimination even now. That gender discrimination is continuously going to go unless we bring a change. These kind of cases are happening so often. I'll give you another example of a case. They go there on a dependent visa. The girls do not know that when they marry the US people, they go on a dependent visa called H4. They do not know H4 has no right to work. So for years they keep sitting there not able to work, so girls who are PhDs cannot go out and work. So these boys force them to go illegally and work for cash. And they're so scared that they can be picked up by the police anytime and handed over. Those people on H4, their visa comes to an end the moment the man divorces them. Many of these girls have had children who are born US citizens. They are born there. So the moment the man decides to take a divorce, immediately the girl's visa comes to an end. You can make any application to the court, she has to depart United States. So you could come under any of these categories when there is an athlete category available, when there's a musician category available, when there is an outstanding category available. Why should you not try L1 for opening your companies? Why should you not go on a job visa? Why should you not go on a cook visa or a nurse visa? Why do you only go from this marriage category? This is a very big eye-opener. And most of these people who are Indian, I try to just go and educate them that please follow the law, please understand the system. The immigrant population is extremely vulnerable in the United States. They are extremely vulnerable to the extent that they do not know when they have matrimonial problems, they cannot call the police, they cannot talk to anybody because they don't have correct papers. Many of them do not know what kind of papers they should keep. our objective of starting this organization was to do workshops on law, and everywhere I've gone, in every pocket, we've identified 23 pockets in the United States, Canada, which is Toronto and Vancouver. We are doing these workshops wherever there's maximum Asian population. The American population also is applauding our work because they're happy that somebody is working with the immigrant population. Because helping them get their paperwork right means that everybody will be able to secure justice. Tomorrow, if anything happens, you will be able to approach the authorities. Without knowing how the system works, it's very hard. We are going to have so many programs in India for asking NRIs to come and invest here. If India makes a gesture of social justice for these NRIs, which are 30 million or more in number, you will automatically, they will see India stands for us, we stand for India, they'll want to come back. That's the best way to get them here, is to do something for them, from our country, from us, so that we stand there and say, our country cares for you. These POIs who come, these citizens who come, we care for them. And when we show our care, they are bound to come back. This is the motto of my seminar, to bring this education to all of you. I hope you stay for the seminar and get more and more learning. Thank you very much.
Right. Now, may I request our chief guest, Super Cop, I can't help it but call you that, Magsaysay Laureate, who is Director General, Bureau of Police Research and Development, founder chairperson of two NGOs, India Vision Foundation and Navjyoti, both of which are on the UN observer status, to give the inaugural address. Okay.
Thank you all that you came to attend my sister's function. I know it's a very precious morning for each one of you. You've left your essential duties to be with her today, and therefore I thank you on her behalf. What Anu is doing, I have seen personally in America. She is unique. She is giving her very precious time in America for this larger cause, which is saving Indian lives. Let's take Anu's Seva message to the schools and colleges. Dr. Nagar, you could play a role as well. I'm sure you're deeply touched by this. So I think we, friends and relatives and family of Anu, can take this preventive message of Anu to the universities and colleges and save the youth. We'll have Delhi University as a help. We could involve the Delhi University Students' Union to help organize, or a one college principal, or we could request a registrar or the vice chancellor, give us a forum, and this film could run. And I think that would be, because let the film do the talking, where Anu's. Kabir, you could play that role as well as Anu's lawyer friend. So I think whomever I could spot right now, I'm just thinking, but the group can be wider, and this Seva group can be formed on behalf of Anu, and the film of Anu can be taken to universities and colleges, and Usha Mehra could be, Mrs. Usha Mehra could be our torch bearer, and you could be the leader in this campaign. I think it would be serving the cause. I think Anu's visit, Anu's investment of energy and time then doesn't stop with her departure, but her film could do the talking, and her friends who are out for the larger cause of saving lives, particularly educated women's lives, are more interested, because these women are all educated. Anu, you know that. There are masters in many, they're PhDs, they're engineers, they're computer specialists. I've come across many myself, and who are looking for work, but they can't work. And she's right. Some of them are becoming housekeepers themselves and becoming nannies for others. Nannies. And trying to earn $500 in a month, just to earn some pocket money. So I think this is how, Anu, we could support you. Maybe not an overcommitment, but a reasonable commitment. But the key would be that we need your film of 10 minutes, which could then be introduced, and then we take the discussion forward. And we go to a college or a university, not for more than 1 hour session, and that is where Mrs. Usha Mehra and Sangeeta and others could play an active role in interpreting the law and explaining the matters. I think this is how we could, as the ones who respect your work and honor and respect the time and energy and the love you continue to contribute towards your motherland, to your motherland and your mother whom you see in your motherland. I think that's the duty we could perform for you. Thank you for your love and respect you give to your family always. God bless you.